Wow.
Good morning. Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. I was rocking in my chair this
Woohoo! Me
morning.
too.
Man, that was great. I love it. I love the music and of course the people and the kids, all these images. Wonderful. Good morning and good evening or good afternoon from wherever you may be viewing this virtual
Around
breakfast.
the world.
Exactly. Breakfast virtual with the children. As we say in Cote d'Ivoire, Akwaba, a greeting and salutation throughout certain West African countries. It means welcome, Pastor Ama. It means welcome.
Thank you so much. I love that word. I'm going to use that. Aquaba.
Akwaba, thank you for being here early this morning. It is late afternoon in Cote d'Ivoire. Educating girls is everyone's business, and your presence here this morning is proof you care about that. And we thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Aquaba. Aquaba. I hope you'll say that with me. Welcome. Welcome this morning. Welcome to Breakfast with the Children. This year, we are gathering around the theme Educate Her Now.
That is true. It's everyone's business. It's everybody's business, as I said earlier. But I'm a little bit curious, Pastor Ama. Your name, Ama, it's an African name.
I
and
know,
then
it's funny.
and then Zenia, if you move the Z, you put K, it's Kenya.
It's true.
Tell us
It's
about
true.
that.
And it's funny, actually, Xenia is a Russian name, and Ama is a West African name. But like you said, I
Yeah.
put it all together, Ama Xenia, and that's my name. And I'm so glad to be here with you. And then also wanted to introduce my esteemed co-host, Emmanuel Nadeau, who goes by Nadeau. So nice to be here with you together.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very appreciated to be here this early morning and helping the KSP Kara School project.
Whether you are a longtime supporter or a new friend, we are delighted that you chose to spend your early morning with us. Today, we'll be on 2 continents. We are hearing from residential vehicle dwellers in and around Palo Alto about how your support for the services of the Karat School Project is impacting their lives.
Then we will take a virtual flight to the Ivory Coast. You don't need a passport, you don't need a visa, where it all started to hear from the staff, the women and the children. But before we get started, here is some housekeeping. During the event, we will be referring to the Kara School Project as KSP. You will be seeing live on your screen and the 2 of us, myself and Ama, your MCs, children at the schools in Africa, and our breakfast champion who are hosting parties from their home. Feel free to interact with Evelyn and other KSP staff members through the chat. Before we get started, though, we ask you to make note of the green button right under us on your screen. You can also visit our silent auction page by clicking on the link in the chat. All right, the green button. It
The
is
green
it
button.
is the main thing this morning. Please go to the green button and do what is
Absolutely.
necessary.
And we're going to have opportunities all through this as you feel moved and inspired, as you see the difference that your contributions make. Just press that green button and put in your pledge. Our goal today is to walk you through the impact that this little organization is making around the world, here in the Bay Area where Nadeau and I live, and also in the Ivory Coast, to educate girls in particular, to bring equity in education, both here in the Bay Area and in the Côte d'Ivoire, and to help those in need. We do this by hearing firsthand from those who've been receiving the services that your donations make possible. Now, we have an ambitious fundraising goal this morning.
Yes,
And
a
so I'm
great
going to tell you what it
ambition.
is. Okay, Nadia, can you help? Give me a drum roll wherever you are.
I am doing that
Friends,
now.
join us in a drum roll.
I
Our
mean, we
goal
should have the
is
violin. We should have the violinist Devon there and doing
where's
the
the
violin too.
violinist? We need
At
Devin right
the,
here. But our goal is $50,000. We want to raise $50,000 to help educate girls and boys, support their families in the Ivory Coast and here in the Bay Area.
Soon we will be hearing from the RV youth and their families here in the Bay Area. But before that, let's welcome Evelyn Kyomian, a lady, the lioness who is working on two fronts, two continents, here in the Bay Area and in Cote d'Ivoire. She's the founder and executive director of the Cara School Project. Evelyn, welcome. Give us some words of wisdom and
Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel and Pastor Ama. It definitely is a pleasure to be with you guys this morning. My name is Evelyn Kyomian, and I am the founder and the executive director of the Care School Project, KSP. I just really want to thank you guys to just for getting up so early this morning to be here with us as we are dealing with two completely different time zone and try to fit everybody in. And so as our MCs have noted, it is breakfast for us. I certainly do have my coffee, and it is late in the afternoon for everybody who is dialing in from the Ivory Coast. That includes the children at the school and everybody who's dialing in from anywhere else in the world. So thank you so much for making the efforts to be here today. This means the world to me and to us as a team. And today, as one of our MCs said earlier, our theme today is Educate Her Now. And the reason why we are focusing so intensely on girls' education, it is because of the urgency. But you see, the KSP really is a dream. It is a dream, or I would say it was a dream for the young girl that I was growing up in poverty in Africa to have a different life. And as I grew up and moved to the United States and pursue my education, it became a dream for me to look back and give back to my community. And so since 2020, the dream, sorry, actually grew, and it became a dream of me again to look into my new home, my new community, and help the single mom, the immigrant, the person that has a limitation with languages or whatever that situation could be, to look back and to help that person. And so it has become a dream of all of us. That's why you got up at 8 this morning, or 7, or maybe 6, to be here, to make sure that we are looking into our community, both here locally and internationally, to be able to help. And so with that, we launched the Educate project last year, which was geared toward low income families, but very quickly became geared towards our residential vehicle dwellers. Notice that we call it residential, not recreational, because these family and these children are not in these RVs trying to, go see a sunset somewhere or visit all of the beautiful national parks that we have throughout the United States. No. In fact, these are a lot of single mothers, immigrant, some of them from marginalized communities, that are trying their best to keep a roof over the head of their families, in an area that I know too well is very expensive to live in. These mothers have a place in my heart, not because they are minority like I am, and not because they're single mothers. All of that is true. And because of these facts, I know all too well what it means to be in this area and to work more hours than you can count and still be one paycheck away or be one illness away from becoming a homeless. And as you and I, as parents, they are doing all they can to be able to provide for their children. And this is how they end up on the side of our street or in safe parking spaces or even camping in tent just so that they don't end up homeless. You see, since we started this initiative, a lot has happened. Last year, we gave you a little bit of a report. And this year, today, our goal here with the person who's going to speak about a little bit is to just give you an insight on what your contribution has made possible. And so very soon, we are going to hear from the RV youth themselves. What have you made possible to the mission of the Care School Project? Where is this project going? And what have we been able to do? And so with that, I will thank you again for being here. And I will call Barbara Weinstein, one of our very devoted volunteers, to come on. But before Barbara comes, I want to invite you. As you watch these children and you listen to these families, I want you to lean in. They will refer to us by our name. They may not even know the name of the organization, because before we were single mothers, before they were unhoused youths, they're human beings. So you will hear them say something like, Evelyn came and knocked at my RV, or Carla, the lady who brought us water when Evelyn was in Africa and helped us solve some issues, is here today. Things like that. And the reason is, though the organization is very important, though the mission is amazing, we are really doing our best to have a human connection with everyone in our community and look at them just as who they are, another fellow human being. So we just want to thank you and invite you to lean in a little bit. So here is Barbara to tell us a little more about the Educate. And then you'll hear from the youth. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Barbara Weinstein, a Care at School Project volunteer. At the beginning of the COVID pandemic, the KSP launched Educates, a local Bay Area project to help fill educational gaps expected during the lockdown. With techniques from the work that the KSP was already using in Ivory Coast, we designed an educational package that has since become a staple in our community. To date, we've distributed more than 3,000 customized Educates with books, worksheets, and other educational materials. To help keep the children healthy and engaged during remote learning, we distributed over $80,000 in grocery cards, plus water and household supplies. We helped with computers, network connectivity, and electricity, and successfully advocated for some of the children to attend Palo Alto schools. In the past couple of weeks, we delivered winter clothing and supplies and Thanksgiving dinner for 115 community members. Edukids is unique. We provide assistance and advocacy with strong personal connections that show the families and children that they matter, all with an unswerving belief in education as the path out of poverty. Don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the families and youth about how the Care at School Project has brought them hope.
Mi nombre es Aurora y vivo en RV en Palo Alto. Pues nos está ayudando bien con tarjetas para comida, agua, sustento en Navidad. Cuando se llega a Navidad pide para los niños tallas, para ropa y cosas que ocupan los niños. Es una ayuda que nos está dando Evelyn con su proyecto que tiene.
Mis problemas son no tener una vivienda, con el problema del COVID. He tenido muchos problemas para el aprendizaje con mis hijos en la escuela. Siempre ella está ahí. Si ella no está en persona, a mis hijos pueden mandarle un mensaje y siempre está confortando a la familia.
Demasiado. Evelyn siempre está ahí para nosotros. Ella tenemos su número personal y tan solo con textearle, ella nos regresa la llamada. Ella siempre está ahí. Yo sé que no es obligación de ella, pero ella es una persona con un gran corazón.
Gracias por ayudarnos, porque no solo me ayudas a mí, sino a muchas familias que están en la misma situación que yo. Y claro que también tienen hijos para sacar adelante. Y nos estás apoyando. Gracias.
What I hope for is for him to go to college and to never have to end up like my situation. My full name is Karen Solorio. My occupation is my child. I currently just got an apartment. It means a lot because I have siblings that still live in an RV. And my little sister says, I'm too poor. I want to have a house like Jason. And so that makes me feel sad because I know my son, that's how he started feeling too. There's not enough words to thank Evelyn for what she's done for us. And she knows it. She knows her hard work has meant a lot to all of us. Thank you. And I hope they still keep supporting because there's plenty of kids out there that need the help. There could be the difference that from a kid going to college, honestly. It could be the difference.
Evelyn from the Carrot School Project was helping me right now get into a district. Brian Solorio, and I live in Palo Alto, California, in the RVs. She's also like helped us out with a couple like water for the babies, so they get for the baby bottles. Our community, I'll probably like try and do something like Evelyn too, help out, because that really helps out too. So probably go out and give water, give some gift cards, because that really does help. Helping out the homeless, it helped me out, so just giving back.
Mi mayor sueño es que mis hijos estudien, se lleguen a graduar y tengan una mejor vida.
Evelyn always helped me out to get some financial aid and also try and help me get back into school for now. Carrot School Project has helped me a lot, and Evelyn too. They all helped me they helped my family with gas and the Safeway gift cards to help us with the groceries. And Evelyn's always in a good mood. She's like another family member, and although she's always busy in meetings, she's always there for us. Even if she's like busy, she'll always be like, oh, how can I help you? She's also made the whole situation living in RVs a better experience, especially during the pandemic when it was like a little harder for us. She helped us out.
Oh yeah, he's going to college. This kid's going to college. He has no choice. We're getting him to college.
Yeah, everyone deserves a crazy Evelyn. She's like one of the best helps I've gotten in a while, and she's very useful. And we all, not just me, but we all appreciate Evelyn a lot. More than she thinks, I think. Yeah.
Brilliant, Amma, Pastor Amma. It is such a human, touching story.
I love just the personal connection that Evelyn makes with the families, and that's part of, as the young man said, just part of what makes it better, his life better, even when he's living in an RV. It's like somebody cares. There's a sense of community. There's hope. There's education, a pathway for college.
Exactly, and their dream is being kind of accomplished. Thank you, Barbara, and your RV families and youth. All of this, Amma, makes me think about Malala, the Pakistani young girl who was shot in the head by the Taliban gunmen. A crime to have spoken up for the girl's right to be educated. And the world reacted in horror, but luckily she survived. And she's now an icon of courage and hope, traveling around the world and advocating for girls' education. She's known around the world by her first name alone. So these girls that the KSP is educating, they can be they can be a model
That's
Malala.
right. And I love it. Actually, we have a number of girls. There's Malala, there's Greta. You know, there's a few girls that are just have made a huge difference
Yes.
with their education and with their advocacy for education. And we just heard from the RV dwellers in Palo Alto. The KSP distributed so many gallons of water, provided gas cards, food, clothes, provided ways for the students' computers to stay charged so they can study, meals. All of these things happened with your donation. And so I want to ask you just to take a moment right now and press that green
button
below,
below,
because we couldn't do this without you.
Of course, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that without
right.
you. Go
and
ahead.
I love it. The green, like, you know, it's like I used to work for an organization called Green for All, and it has to do with making the world green. Green is such a color of hope, of spring, of new beginnings, and also the color of resources, financial resources flowing in. So just take a moment and press that green button as we head to the Ivory Coast.
That's exciting. Let's go to the Ivory Coast.
Zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo. Oh. Zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo. Oh. Mazango de zago madami pui kango ma yesu de wonde de madabo manwe de bonwe madabo manwe aye de bonwo sewa yomo oh ayiwa idoka yedonunsubo Yamba yido dangu bo. Yeah, I don't know dangu bomba niggas. Sugenge yawe. Don't mananda o de not la o gadi mad now. Did it all be a jeffly at double? Do have go be fast you. Zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo, zago mama yo. Oh.
Bonjour, moi c'est Teacher Joyce. Moi, Teacher Emmanuela, enseignante Chris Room, classe maternelle. Bonjour, Teacher Gladys.
Moi c'est Teacher Cyril, enseignant Chris Room.
Classe CE. Bonjour, moi c'est Teacher Diane.
Moi, c'est Teacher Marie Chouta, enseignante du Joyce Room.
Classe CPE.
Bonjour, moi, c'est Teacher Toba.
Moi, c'est Teacher Lydie, enseignante de Calas Room.
Classe CM.
Hi, everyone. I'm Teacher Cedric. I'm the English teacher, and I'm also the computer teacher and the sports teacher of the Tower School Project. Thank you.
Bonjour, moi, c'est Léonie Van. Je suis la cuisinière de KSP.
Bonjour, bienvenue en Côte d'Ivoire au KSP. Je suis Madame Théoulou Marie-Yvette, directrice de KSP, Aquabat.
Hello, welcome to Ivory Coast at the KSP. I'm Marie-Yvette Théoulou, School Director of the KSP.
Au KSP, en plus du programme ivoirien, nous dispensons les cours d'anglais, d'informatique, de cuisine, de jardinage et de pâtisserie.
At the KSP, additionally to the Ivorian education program, we provide English classes, computer lessons, baking, gardening, and cooking programs as well.
L'an dernier, nous avons fonctionné avec 45 élèves, donc 16 filles.
Last year, we gathered 45 students, including 16 girls.
Ainsi, pendant le gala passé, nous avons exprimé le besoin d'inscrire au moins 20 filles et nous avons réalisé le challenge. En ce jour, nous avons un effectif de 85 élèves, donc 40 filles.
In our previous fundraising event, we expressed the need to enroll at least 20 more girls. This goal has been accomplished. Today, we have 85 students total, including 40 girls.
Malheureusement, la pandémie de la COVID-19 a causé un grand nombre de décès dont nous enregistrons de nombreux orphelins.
Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic caused a devastating amount of death, leaving an increasing number of orphans.
Ces enfants ayant perdu un ou les deux parents sont livrés à eux-mêmes ou se retrouvent dans les rues pour faire des petits commerces.
These children who have lost one or both parents are left to fend for themselves or left in the streets to work in small businesses.
Face à cette situation, nous sollicitons votre aide afin de scolariser au moins 30 filles cette année.
That is why we're asking for your help to enroll 30 more girls this year.
Aujourd'hui, nous avons l'honneur de vous présenter les enfants et les femmes qui ont bénéficié de votre soutien. J'espère que vous allez passer de bons temps en nos présences. Je vous remercie.
Today, it is our great honor to introduce you to the children and the women who have benefited from your support. I hope you will enjoy your time with us, and thank you.
Bonjour.
My name is Evelyn Kyomian. My daughter Benedict has been attending KSP for 3 years now. I have lost 2 of my 5 children because I couldn't feed them or buy medicine when they got sick. I suffer from mental illness. I have no support from the community because they do not understand what I'm going through. The KSP has helped me establish a small business to help me provide for my family. Thanks to the training and the help I have received from the KSP, I can pay for my medication and feed my family. I want Benedict to continue to go to school so she can have a better life.
Hi, my name is Sherry Auerbach, and I am a Los Altos resident, and I got to know Evelyn in 2019 while we were watching the Art and Wine Festival in Mountain View. And we got to talking. I was inspired by the project that she had created in 2017, the Karate School Project. And from there, we spoke again and again, and I was continued to be amazed by her story and her passion to help the children, families, and community around the Karate School. Since that time, I have joined the Rotary Club of Los Altos and has helped to integrate these 2 organizations, one as a funding mechanism, and starting to see the benefits of all her hard work with the women and children in this community. She started with 17 children. I've seen her expand this to create programs for women and the community at large. A lot of help during the COVID years with sanitation stations and water purification options, and now really working to increase the enrollment of females in the school, as well as empowering women in the community to also be a part of the income for their families and encouraging girls to be enrolled in school. So vision for the future is to continue to expand the Karat School, to create more opportunities for especially girls, women, and the community at large. Evelyn is an amazing visionary. I have no doubt that she will achieve this goal.
Well, I have no doubt that she will achieve this goal. I mean, if you think about what Evelyn has come through personally herself, and not only just for her to survive, but then to help so many others to thrive. This is what it means to be holistically and sustainably involved in solving community challenges. So now don't go anywhere. We're going to be hearing more from the children of the KSP in a little bit, but I wanted to give you an update on our fundraising. Remember, we have a goal of raising $50,000. Well, $10,000 has been generously donated by board members, and that is going to be used as a matching fund. That means your donations right now will be matched as you donate here today. And you can donate, of course, you can donate cash. You can also donate stock. And so if you'd like to do that, just go ahead and press the green button, and you can put that in your memo that's the pledge you'd like to make to donate stock. And then someone will follow up with you.
Wow, that is great. I'm so excited already by this donation. Thank you. You are making girls' access to education a reality, people. Thank you for pledging and for donating. Education is a fundamental right and a matter of justice as well, you know. Girls' education is one of the most effective ways of tackling our pressing global challenges today. Many of the climate advocates are young girls and women across the world. And because investing in girls' education, as I said, is the foundation of female leadership, not only for climate action. Amma, what else?
Because we were talking about that with Greta, right? With climate action, of course, with Malala, with education for girls. And I know that educated girls become women with the power to advocate, whether it's locally or nationally or internationally, for better nutrition, for reducing maternal and infant mortality, for working to combat HIV, AIDS, COVID, malaria, and other diseases, for ending child marriage and gender-based violence.
Yes, indeed. And education is not freely available to everyone, you know, and in many parts of the world, girls are the first to be excluded from it. Unfortunately, that's the way in many parts of Africa. So thank you for making a difference, not only for girls, but for our world with your donation. Any amount you give makes a difference. It adds up.
Yes, it does.
It adds up.
So, I know. Thank you so much to each of you for being here and for your donations. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what your donations can do, because as Nadeau just said, any amount that you give makes a difference. $50 is a year's worth of school supplies for a child. $250 will sponsor a mother to receive a life skill training, as we heard in that wonderful video of Benedict's mother, who is able now to start her own business and to build, you know, they say, don't just give a person a fish and feed him for a day, teach them how to fish.
How to fish, exactly.
And that's what this does. So with $250, you can help the KSP teach someone how to fish so that they have a life skill that can support the whole family and support their girls going to school. Now, $487 will feed and educate a child for a year. All of the kids who come to the KSP project get not only food for their minds, but also food for their bodies. Because we can't learn. Najo, you probably experienced that. I know I have. When you're hungry, you can't
when
think.
you're hungry, exactly, without breakfast. That's why I remember many years ago when the Black Panther came up with the breakfast for kids in the morning before school start. It's very important. That was the model of what we're getting now today.
That's right. And so your donation provides that schooling that makes sure the kids have the food in their belly so that they have the mental capacity to learn. And then, of course, the teachers, the supplies, and everything that they need. We also have a silent auction going on. I don't know if you're aware of that or if you've checked it out. There's some things. I know there's something that I want. Yes. I won't tell you what it is because if you outbid me, God bless you.
Someone a bit much higher than you. That's great.
That's right. Just keep it going. Keep it going. It's for the right cause, right? Okay. That's why we're here.
Exactly. And now
so you can find the link to that in the chat, just so you know that it's a live auction.
It is. And now we are heading back to the Ivory Coast to hear from more children and their family. Okay, so let's go to Ivory Coast.
Si tu aimes KSP, dis hello. Si tu aimes KSP, dis hello. Si tu aimes KSP, si tu aimes la maternelle, si tu aimes KSP, dis hello. Si tu aimes Chris Room, bas les mains. Si tu aimes Chris Room, bas les mains. Si tu aimes le KSP, si tu aimes la maternelle, si tu aimes KSP, bas les mains. Si tu aimes Chris Room, tourne en rond. Si tu aimes Chris Room, tourne en rond. Si tu aimes KSP, si tu aimes la maternelle, si tu aimes KSP, tourne en rond.
Bonjour les amis, je m'appelle Ejao Sagbe Mignon David de Limelette. J'ai 4 ans, je suis à la maternelle Chris Room. Bienvenue au KSP.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Peniel.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sandra.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Natacha.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Shekina.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sydney.
Ce qu'on aime au KSP, c'est qu'on a beaucoup de livres. Bonjour, je m'appelle Kofini Samari Onila. Voici ma maison. Je fréquente au KSP. Voici mon petit frère Eli.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Marie-Ange. Ce que j'aime au KSP, c'est le toboggan.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Yaomi. Ce que j'aime au KSP sont les instruments de musique.
Bonjour, good morning, buenos dias, guten tag, aloha, ni hao, bon dia, namaste, salam, merci.
Bonjour. My name is Natasha Kona. I'm 11 years old. I'm in the 3rd grade. I have 7 siblings. I live with my mum. Our father left us with our mother, who cannot afford to pay our school fees. We cannot go to school. My mum sent me to live with her sister in Anukwa village. My aunt sells cooking pots, plates, donuts and water. I have to help her so I can live with her. One day, while I was selling in the market, members of the Karat School project saw me. That's when everything changed for me. They sent me back to school. I made new friends, like Benedict and Josiane, and I am happy now. My dream is to become a teacher, like my teachers at school. Thank you for making education possible for me. Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
It is so wonderful to see these kids. I mean, wow, they're outspoken too as well. And this is all thanks to KSP. And Pastor Ama, love and compassion are the medicine the world needs. And to the donors, your generosity is showing that you are truly standing in these children's shoes to see through their eyes. That's how dreams become reality. And it is up to you to make that happen. By doing so, you are not only changing a few lives, you are changing the lives of an entire generation you can be proud of.
And I was thinking about what I think it was the Madame Directrice, the director, who said that the Karat School project has almost exactly half girl students, which is actually amazing. In Africa, I looked it up, and girl students are twice as unlikely to go to school, even to step foot in a classroom. And so the fact that the KSP has made educating girls, reaching out to girls like the young girl that we just heard from, a focus is something that we can really be proud of. And now we have a panel of students with our esteemed translator, Francois.
Hello, everyone. Great energy this morning from the host. I'm gonna try to match that. Salut les enfants, comment vous allez? So this panel, first of all, my name is Francois. I am in not so sunny Sacramento, and I'm also happen to be from Ivory Coast. So Akwaba, and welcome. And this panel is really going to be helping you guys transport you guys to the heart of Ivory Coast, helping you guys hear firsthand from the beneficiaries how much your donation, your help, really affect their lives. I don't know about you, but I always like to hear from the people themselves. And it's my humble pleasure for this great cause that's really close to my heart to be here to help translate and make that discussion happen. So without no further ado, I'm going to switch in French and translate for my friends at KSP. And the first question that I'm going to ask them is to describe a day in their life before they joined KSP. Try to get an idea of what life was like for them before. Monsieur, madame le professeur, les enfants de KSP, bonjour, on dit quoi? Ça va bien? Bonjour. Donc, la première question, celui qui veut répondre, et puis merci Maître Lydie de participer, de nous aider. La première question pour l'enfant qui veut répondre, hein, c'est comment était leur vie avant qu'ils étaient à KSP, avant qu'ils soient à KSP.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Kouma Yasmine, je suis en classe de Julius. Quand je n'étais pas encore au KSP, quand je me lève le matin, je balais la maison. Maman m'accompagne, je me mets à laver les assiettes. Quand maman descend du marché, elle vient me chercher pour partir à la maison.
Merci beaucoup, Yasmine. C'était parfait, vraiment parfait. Donc, je vais traduire pour les gens qui écoutent. So Yasmine here basically told me that before joining KSP, she would basically spend most of her time at home, helping her mom with all the tasks around the house. And when her mom goes to work, working in the market, she will drop her off at the grandma. And there again, she will help with dishes, cleaning around, and anything that could be useful. So switching gear now that they're at KSP, I'm gonna ask them, their kid, what is some fun stuff? What's excite them about KSP? What are some of the things that make KSP different from maybe other schools that they've seen around? Allô les enfants, deuxième question. Quelle est une chose que vraiment vous ne pensiez pas voir à KSP, ou bien une de tes activités, ou bien un jouet favori vraiment que tu aimes beaucoup à KSP? Okay.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Brou Timothée. Au KSP, j'ai vu qu'il y a plusieurs livres de contes, de bandes dessinées et d'histoires drôles que dans les autres écoles. Pour nos jeux, il y a des balançoires, des toboggans et on fait aussi l'informatique et l'anglais. Je vous remercie.
Oh, je te remercie, toi. That was a great answer from Ange Timothée. So Timothée talked about his comic book. Which I'm a big comic book fan too, and it's great that they get books on the spare time. You also be able to see in the video previously the play area. I see a lot of his friends enjoy the play area as well as learning English and the musical literacy. So the next question that I'm going to ask them is sort of, this is a true panel. As you can see, we have each of our students, with an amazing answer. Whoever feel compelled to answer really was selected for these questions. And this one is kind of stepping back a little, looking at the bigger picture. And we're going to ask these children if they have a wish for anybody, any other children in the world as well. Alors les enfants, une autre question, avant-dernière. Est-ce que vous avez un souhait en particulier pour tous les enfants dans le monde, tous les enfants comme vous, qu'ils soient en Côte d'Ivoire, à Abidjan ou bien partout dans le monde?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Théwa Flora Saint-Ichia et je suis en classe de Chérissou. C'était le souhait pour tous les enfants du monde qu'ils soient scolarisés car ils sont l'avenir. Je souhaite que tous les enfants du monde soient dans une école comme le KSP. Je vous remercie.
Oh, je te remercie à toi. Laura is really, bright and ambitious ideas. She talked about school affordability and accessibility to all children around the world. Have people that care for them, and she really wished that every children in the world has the opportunity, without any kind of socioeconomic barrier, to get access to education and go to a school just like KSP, where they can have fun and learn. So the last question that I'm going to ask them is, I'm going to tell them all that you're watching, that you're scrutinizing them at the very moment, and if they have any sort of message for you, just give them kind of a free, a clean sheet to just mention that. Les enfants de KSP, vous avez vraiment assuré aujourd'hui. Hein. C'était parfait, la connexion, le micro. Merci vraiment au maître, à tout le monde qui nous aide. La dernière question, est-ce qu'ils ont un mot pour tous les gens qui regardent, tous les gens qui donnent à KSP?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Kofi Joas. Je suis en classe de Classroom, j'ai 10 ans. Nous disons infiniment merci à toutes les personnes qui donnent de leur argent pour que nous puissions aller à l'école. À notre enseignant qui nous donne le savoir. À nos cantinières Titelo qui nous donne la nourriture chaque jour. À madame la directrice et à nos chères fondatrices. Merci infiniment pour tout ce que vous avez fait. Que Dieu bénisse le KSP et Dieu vous donne la santé et l'argent. Je vous remercie.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, Kofi Joa. C'est une très bonne réponse. Je vais faire en sorte d'essayer de bien traduire ce que tu as dit. So Joas here is gratefulness is the essence of his message. But what I really appreciate about his answer is he really took the time to specifically thank the staff there, the teacher, the cooks, Evelyn, of course, which I think is a testament of the quality of people that he interacts with on a daily basis. And, he also said, God bless you to all the donors and wish you abundantly. And I will be remiss if I didn't introduce this fully. Health and wealth. Like we say back home. So this was lovely. Merci beaucoup d'avoir participé. Merci au maître, teacher Lydie, madame la professeure Lydie. Au revoir les enfants. And thank you all for participating to this virtual interactive discussion in the heart of the KSP. And I'm going to transition the mic back to the MC, I believe. Thanks all.
Great news, Amma.
All right.
Great news. We have so far $14K.
$14,000. All right. We're moving forward.
We're moving forward. We all want to remind you of the green button. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I loved hearing from those children. Thank you so much,
know.
Francois, for translating.
Exactly.
Just for their thoughtfulness and their articulation and their dignity. I mean, those kids are like undaunted, you know, thinking about what they've come through. And now they're in this great environment where they can really nourish their gifts and grow. It's fantastic.
And they're so grateful to their teacher, to everyone. I mean, that's so.
I know, and I'm so excited to be part of that. I hope you are too, no matter who you are, wherever you're watching, whether you can make a gift of, $25, $50, $250, $1,000, $2,500, whatever, $10,000.
Matching fund, that would be fine.
I love what that donor said. This is one of the most important, best ways that we can truly make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
We know who's involved. We know Evelyn. We know what she's done here, what she's doing here. We know the kids. Sometimes, if you give to some gigantic organization, you maybe the CEO is making $5 million.
Yeah, it would go in the bureaucracy. Yeah.
Exactly.
When we go to the bureaucracy, I would like to thank all of you, children and the family and friends who support them, teachers, our esteemed donors, technicians, and everyone who put together and joined this event. Have a great end of the year. Stay safe and be well. May all your wishes come true. And as we go into this holiday season, you can make these children's wishes come true with your generous donation. There are many ways you can donate. Pastor Anna, tell us, what do you think will make the best Christmas present for these lovely children?
Nando, every donation that is made is a gift to the children. I mean, yes, it's nice to have a toy or something like that, but even better to have a life that is shaped with a wonderful education, with slides and places to play, with food for your belly, with great books to read. All of the wonderful things that are made possible for the children through the donations of our wonderful donors. And you, our donors, make it possible for the children to grow and learn as lion cubs under the support and with the leadership of our lioness, the lady who started it all, Evelyn Kyomian. You've heard the saying, be the change you want to see in the world. And Evelyn is doing just that. She is seeking to be the help that she once needed, both as a young girl growing up in Africa and then as a single mother here in the Bay Area. She's a person, as we saw from so many of the videos, who steps in to help as she sees the need. She is a lady with a coeur d'or, if I'm saying it right. Say it again. Say it, Nado.
Coeur d'or.
Coeur d'or. And I love actually heart. Coeur in French is the root of our word courage. And she shows just incredible courage in breaking through the barriers and the boundaries that she's come through, and now in stepping out to help. And I loved also hearing from some of the kids who said, I want to do what Evelyn does. I see the difference she's making. I want to do that. I want to do what my teachers do. My teachers bless me. I want to be a teacher. Like when someone takes that stand of courage, it makes a huge difference that ripples out over and over.
And as one of the RV family said, she's a great corazon, a big heart. Corazon
That's right.
grande.
Corazón grande.
Corazón grande.
So, Nadia, will you help me welcome back Evelyn Kyomian for our closing message?
Wow. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I need a minute to basically wipe my tears off my face from this trip that we've taken all the way from the peninsula to the Ivory Coast and now back to the peninsula. I want to thank the team this morning. The Care School Project team, both here in the United States and in the Ivory Coast, have been working tirelessly to make sure that we can convey this message to you this morning and have you really be part of what you are making possible. And so they work in order to make this event possible. And I just want to thank them truly. I want to thank our two amazing MC, Emmanuel and Pastor Ahmad. They've I've had a great time this entire time. I don't know about you, but they've been so amazing and filling our heart with joy so early in the morning. Thank you. And to our volunteers that are working behind the scenes and that are making sure that things are being done on time and on point, I should say. I really just wanted to thank you. And thank you to our partners, Spliffer Film, who made our local movies here possible. It was long hours, and I hope you guys all enjoy it and that the message of these families truly came across for you as the families meant to tell you their story. What I have to tell you this morning is that dreams do not come true. The reason is dreams are a journey. And as we dream them, we see them come to reality every day. And these dreams grow. And we go with the dreams and the journey. And then we have people like you that join us in order to make that dream and the children's dream happen. So that's why I say our dream is still coming and you are part of it. Thank you for joining us. This very last week, as I work and did everything that I was supposed to do here locally for the holiday season, and we distributed 115 food packages to RV dwellers throughout Palo Alto and in our community, and even to some tent dwellers on the Stanford campus. I was really reminded of how important education is. Without the education I fought so hard to have, I wouldn't be making this speech today. I wouldn't be writing the invitation to have you come here. I wouldn't be asking you to partner with the Care School Project. I am sure that I would have been somewhere else, having not been for my education. And this is why it is so important to me as a minority female leader and to the Care School Project through its mission to bring this education and to advocate for those that are having the challenges to accessing it. So we thank you for joining and making that dream a possibility. See, the Care School Project have brought clean water to over 5,000 people in Africa. We've distributed gallons of clean water right here in the heart of the peninsula, something that I would have never thought was needed in such a developed country, and something that I definitely never thought I, the girl with a bad accent, would be doing to bring clean water to people in the peninsula. But we've done that thanks to you and your contribution. We have designed an educational incentive program for girls so that we can bring more girls into school. This program, as we're looking towards the future, is meant to impact 168 families on the first trial. We are really focusing on girls because I truly believe there are so many more Evelyns out there, and I will not rest until I do my part. If you're here this morning, well, you've joined me. So welcome. We're going to do this. Natasha, we heard her story earlier. When I met Natasha, she was sitting behind a pile of charcoals that she was supposed to sell that day so that her and her family can have access to food. She was hungry, and you could see the despair in her face when I started to ask one too many questions. And as she started to understand that my questions would have not lead to me buying anything that she was selling. So she got really discouraged. And her aunt walked over because her aunt was wondering, why is the strange person talking to the person that's supposed to be selling the stuff so I can have a meal for the day? I was literally disturbing the hustle of the day by asking these questions. But when the team went back earlier this year, during the school year, to enroll Natasha in school, Natasha and her aunt were very surprised. And they say something. They said, they came back. That sentence is not even a sentence, a phrase even. It's very close to my heart because I have heard it so many times in the Ivory Coast as we go back to get these children that we found doing labor or having lost a parents as we go back to enroll them in school. I've also heard that from RV families. When I go and I knock and I ask them, what do you need? When I come back, I very clearly remember that mother sitting by the side of the street in Palo Alto, waiting for books with her children. As she said in Spanish, she came back. I'm glad that her teenage daughter was there to translate because I do not speak Spanish. You see, the Care School Project is able to come back and deliver on promises thanks to you. You make it possible. If we have not gone back, maybe Natasha would be married by now. Because that's what her aunt told me when I asked her, what does she think the future of Natasha will be? She answered, well, she's grown enough now that she can get married to help us provide for the family. The only problem with that is that Natasha is 11. When we come back, girls like Natasha have access to a classroom. When we go back, RV children can dream about going to college and graduating. When we go back, children have access to clean water, uniforms, and doctor checkups. So, thank you for helping us come back again and again. You heard earlier from Madame la Directrice. She asked last year, and she threw out the number of girls she wanted to see in her school. And I was taken by surprise, but you delivered. And we now have the number of girls that she named before. I believe it's 40 girls. So this is possible. We can do it. With your help, we can definitely come back and enroll more girls. So thank you for joining my vision to provide quality and equity in education and advocate for those who do not have a voice. Thank you for allowing me as a minority female leader that is running a micro-organization. Thank you for allowing the entire KSP team to come back and to help. It's all done thanks to you. So I invite you as we move forward, as we look forward into next year, to welcome 30 more girls into the school, to make sure that Brian has access to higher education, to make sure that little Brandon gets to have the book that he needs to help increase his level of literacy right here in Palo Alto. As we go back, thank you for making that possible. That's what I have for you today. My heart is filled with gratitude because this is my dream and you are making that dream a reality. It may not come true. There may not be an end destination, but we will impact a lot of lives as we move forward, as we move toward that goal. Because right now, We have already done a lot of good damages in our communities, both here in Palo Alto, in the peninsula, and in the Ivory Coast. And with that, I would just let us hand back to the Ivory Coast so that we can close. But don't forget, we have big dreams. We want more girls. Would you please, if you're at a house with one of our breakfast champions, you have a QR code that you can scan. If you are watching online, there's a button that you can click. And with that, I will say thank you too to our breakfast champions as we bring them up. Let's bring their screens up so we can see them. There they are. We got one. Let's see if we can go to a second one. Bear with us. There's technicalities to everything.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Let's see if we can bring the second screen up. All right. This is the very joy of being live, right? So we do have other breakfast champions and we wanted to thank them. These were people who were hosting a little viewing party at their houses. And so we thank you very much for doing that. Thank you to you all who joined us live today and got up early and grabbed a cup of coffee to go to the Ivory Coast and back to the peninsula. Let's do it. Let's give and let's bring the KSP back. Thank you.